So here we are, back to entropy. I am a human local entropy system. You are a local entropy system. And this house is a local entropy system. And by the law of entropy, thermodynamics, this house wants to crumble back to the earth. It wants to become disorganized again. X amount of energy has been put into this house to build it, form all the materials, but all the time he wants to return to the universe. He wants to break down and become simple. This piece of wood is being attacked by the weather, the paint's peeling off, and the dampness and fungi want to get into the wood cracks and start making it fall apart. And become disorganized. Now I always call these little systems, this house, me and you, I call them little anti-entropy systems, because we're very organised as people. Maybe not mentally, but our bodies are very organised, and our house is very organised. And we always have to input energy into the system to keep the entropy at bay. I don't know, anyone can be a painter and decorator. I find it soul destroying. And these little bits here, it's too small to get the machine in. Let's have a go with the machine. Less than useless. We'll leave that bit of paint on there. So I'll try and get the flaky stuff off with a chisel, but I don't want to go into the wood. Now it's not a good idea to paint window frames black, and the window frame company said don't do them black, it gets too hot in the sun and destroys the paint. My missus, she wanted black window frames, so black we have, and that's why I've got to renovate them now, because it gets red hot this place in summer. Even now it's quite warm, it's middle of winter. If we'd have got aluminium windows, wouldn't have been a problem, but we've got wooden windows. PVC was also out. Had to be a traditional wood, and that means muggins here. I'll continually repair it and put my energy in there to keep that naughty entropy away. You can see how it's flaking off everywhere. The trick with this is to keep it light as possible. Don't take any of the wood away, just the paint. Afterwards I'll sand it then. But unless you've got one of those thin band sanders, I have to do it with those sanding pads where the gap's too small to get the sander in. Pain in the ass. Can't paint it yet either because it's a bit too cold. Not good to paint when the temperature's around freezing. A bit dangerous up here as well. If I step one step backwards, then I'll be falling down 4 meters behind me. So I have to be careful. Don't want to fall off a roof again. I already done that once in my life. Broke my back. And that's that thing with entropy. As I said, our bodies are little anti-entropy systems. We eat food, put energy in, and resist entropy. Eventually it gets us in the end, but that comes at a cost too to the universe, because the energy we put into any work we do here increases the overall entropy in the universe. So by having this little anti-entropy system, it all gets paid for. Like there's that saying, there's no such thing as a free lunch. And the length of the universe will be shortened by us life forms. Only like a 1,000 trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second, but still measurable if you've got a big calculator. This is a bad one here. It's quite well stuck in, so as I say, I'll just carry on with this chisel for a while. I don't really know anything about painting. Not this sort of painting anyway. I wonder if it would be better to get some paint remover on there. See that on the news today? Trump wants to turn Gaza into a big pleasure beach, probably golf, like Dubai, and it will be in the worst possible taste, not to mention all the Palestinians who lose their homes or their land. I don't think, well, he don't care at all about international law or anything, does he? He wants to remould the whole world. It seems like we're going back to like Roman times, or feudal times, when there's a group of rich people who own everything and everyone else is just serfs. Perhaps that's the default setup in mankind. After the Second World War, everyone was sick to death of the plutocrats and what they brought about, all the death in the war. And that's when we started to get stuff like National Health Service, Social Security, pensions, organised by the state. But now that 99% of people who fought in the war, they're all dead now. People have forgotten. And so it feels like we're going back to the default state of law of the jungle. And in a way, we're becoming more animalistic. And people demanded all that stuff after the war because they'd just had enough of the idiocy of war. But now, all the products, all the tools, cars, electronic stuff, it's all made in third world countries. Well, not third world countries, so China or India or Bangladesh, clothes. And all those people in those countries, they work for peanuts. because before they didn't have an industrial revolution really there, and it was always the job of the family to look after the older people or pay for the doctors. And so those countries, they can just pay people a couple of dollars an hour because they don't have to pay any pension schemes, you don't have to pay any national insurance. All that's down to the family. And seeing as we've stopped producing a lot of stuff here in the West, it's not competitive anymore against them countries with all those pensions and extra payments. So looks like all that's going to go as well, in my mind. In a way, you could argue that the social safety net, it was just a blip after the war, and we're going back now to the default setting. You can see this is all flaking off too, and I don't really want to do this one, but I guess I have to. See, just all coming off. Entropy. Oh no, it's not wood, it's still paint. So it'll probably, all the pension stuff will probably last till my end of my lifetime. I guess maybe another 10 years, possibly, maybe not. But I don't think our kids are going to have it that good. No. So I think about my grandfathers, both of them fought in the war. Both of them fought against the Nazis. Now it's all starting again, isn't it? So maybe every generation's got to fight its own wars. If there's anybody watching this, there's always a couple watching, but not many. But if anybody's watching this who knows anything about painting and decorating, what would you do? Would you put some paint remover on there to get that paint off? Or just sand it? Like I said, I can't get the sander in there, it's too small. If I had one of those belt sanders maybe. We'll see. Anyway, have a great day.